Do I need to make that larger? Let's do that. Let's just make it larger. On your square, they can't force you to do anything against your will. Now, let's go here. 655, payments to states. It says amounts payable each quarter. So this is what the states are getting each quarter to, can y'all see that pretty good? Do I need to make that larger? Let's do that. Let's just make it larger for the sake of, all right, amounts payable each quarter. So each quarter, states are getting some type of money. Some of you guys might have saw the video I did on YouTube, and I got it up on that child support enforcement page. And if you haven't joined that group, it would be a good idea to join it and share your success stories or share your horror stories on there, because there's a lot of people that are not on this information that do not know that there's a place for them to get help. So I think right now on that group, there's a lot of people that's part of that group now, and a lot of them don't listen to the station. This is about freeing people. All right, from the sums of appropriate, therefore, the secretary shall pay to each state for each quarter an amount equal to the percent specified in paragraph 2 of the total amounts expended by each state during each quarter for the operation of the plan approved under section 654 of this title. So they're going to get their money back, reimbursed for enforcing these child support laws. Equal to the percent specified in paragraph 3 of the sums expended during each quarter that are attributable to the planning, design, development, installation, or enhancement of an automatic data processing and information retrieval system, including in such sums the full cost of the hardware components of such system. So they're going to get reimbursed for everything. Hardware, everything that has to do with them enforcing these laws. The federal government is going to pay them. C, equal to 66% of so much of the sums expended during such quarter as are attributable to laboratory costs incurred in determining paternity, and equal to 66% of the sums expended by the state during the quarter for an alternative statewide system for which a waiver has been granted under section 652D3 of this title. I'm not going to read all these titles, so you guys can go back and read the ones that they're referring to. I suggest you do. I have. But only to the extent that the total of the sum so expended by the state on or after July 16, 1998 does not exceed the least total cost estimate submitted by the state pursuant to section 652D3C of this title in the request of the waiver, except that no amount shall be paid to any state on account of amounts expended from amounts paid to the state under section 658A of this title, or to carry out an agreement which has entered into pursuant to section 663 of this title. In determining the total amounts expended by any state during a quarter for purposes of this subsection, there shall be excluded an amount equal to the total of any fees collected or other income resulting from services provided under the plan approved under this part. So they want to not only get paid, they're going to get fees collected, income, they're going after everything. So basically, you can pay child support plus pay fees for them to administer these cases, which is all unconstitutional. And number two, it's against the all third-party debt collector rules. Why is it unconstitutional? Let's I don't want to just say that. South Carolina. I'm using a new computer, so some of my stuff is not just automatically populating. Let's look at the South Carolina Constitution. Let's look at declarations of rights. All right, let's move this over a little bit for me. We could say religious freedom, so we're not going to get there yet. We're going to go to you could use section 10 where it says searches and seizures, invasions of privacy. Invasion of privacy is the one you want to look at, because when they're trying to get you to fill out all of this personal information, that's an invasion of your privacy. And also, if they're trying to use something in court against you, they need to get a warrant to obtain that information. So stop giving this stuff up to these people voluntarily. So if they're asking you to fill out that stuff, say, listen, you have a warrant for you to have this information? Where's your warrant? Because who did I harm? Who's filed this complaint that I harmed them? Because it says here, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures and unreasonable invasions of privacy shall not be violated. So, isn't that an unreasonable violation of your privacy when they're asking you to give out all your income information in an attempt to harm you by taking money from you against your will? No warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched, the person or thing to be seized, and the information to be obtained. So they need a warrant to get this information. Stop just filling out anything that these people give you. You don't have to do it. The provision I wanted was here's another one. That's not the exact one I was looking for. No person shall be finally bound by a judicial or quasi-judicial decision of an administrative agency affecting private rights except on due notice and opportunity to be heard. Nor shall he be subject to the same person both prosecution and adjudication. Nor shall he be deprived of liberty or property unless by a mode of procedure prescribed by the General Assembly. So you're not bound by a judicial or quasi-judicial decision of an administrative agency. All child support agencies are not judicial. They're not even quasi-judicial. Because when you go in there, there's no real judge there. They get you to agree to everything, and then after you agree to it, they take it before a real judge. They robo-sign that order and keep it moving. So you never really go before a trial. Anytime there's a complaint, you have an opportunity to be heard, like it says right here, before a real court. All right, where is, you know what I'm looking for is the slavery is abolished, involuntary servitude. I can't find it. It's in every constitution. Let's go down here. Maybe it's down here somewhere. Hunting, fishing. Nope. It's always when you're looking for something, you can't find it. Martial law. Here's another one. No imprisonment for debt. Not supposed to be in prison for debt, but in cases of fraud. How they get around the imprisonment for debt is they get you on a contempt order for the contract that you agreed to pay. So, if somebody see it, point it out to me. Yeah, you're right, Andre. They give you referees. They're not real judges. None of those people have the power to give an order against you without your consent. Where is it? Searches and seizures, no warrants, courts, separation of powers, suspension of laws, residence. Now this one too is good. The privileges and immunities of citizens of this state and of the United States under the Constitution shall not be abridged, nor shall any person be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Child support does not follow due process at all. I can't find the provision in here. Well, y'all know, involuntary servitude. When you are forced to do something against your will, it is involuntary servitude. It's in every constitution. For some reason, I can't find it in here. I know it's here because I've used it. Maybe because I want to look. I'm looking too fast. That was self-incrimination. And here's what I'm talking about: self-incrimination. No person shall be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or liberty, nor shall any person be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself. Although child support is under the illusion of being a civil case, is actually, they treat it like it's a criminal case because people are going to jail doing real time. And if you have a child support order and they garnishing it, a lot of states allow for them to put that on your credit report. So don't fill out that paperwork. So let's go back to the codes. All right. Except that no amount shall be paid to any state on account of amounts expended from amounts paid to the state under section 6058A of this title, or to carry out an agreement which has entered into pursuant to section 663 of this title, and determining the total amounts expended by any state during the quarter for purposes of this subsection, there shall be excluded an amount equal to the total of any fees collected. I think I read that. So number 2, the percent applicable to quarters in fiscal years for purposes of paragraph 1A is, they get A, 70% of fiscal years, so these are the older years, 84, 85, 86, 87, 68% from 1988 to 1989, and 66% fiscal year 1990 and each fiscal year thereafter.
This is Homicide Radio. I represent the information station, changing the name.
Now, this is one thing I wanted to show you. The term penalty amount means with respect to a failure of a state to comply with subparagraph of section 655(4)(24) of this title. See, they get penalized for not following the rules. Now, you see why they go after y'all? Not only do they make money, but if they don't follow these rules, they lose money. You see? The term penalty based means with respect to a failure of a state to comply with subparagraph of section 654(24) of this title during a fiscal year, the amount otherwise payable to the state under paragraph 1A of the subsection for preceding fiscal years. So, they got to follow all of this. Go back and read it. And if you want to get real detailed, you can use this. So you guys are coming in as third-party interveners. You say you're coming in the best interest of the child, but it sounds like they're coming in the best interest of the state. All of this is against your rights. So let's go to, that's provisions for reimbursement of expenses. And it says, for the purpose of section 655 of this title, expenses incurred to reimburse state employment office for furnishing information requested of such offices. So they get money for furnishing information. That's why those papers are important. Every piece of paper that's filled out, they're getting paid for. When the father fills it out and when the mother fills it out. All of that's money to them. All right. Now let's skip down to 658A. And here's the money. Incentive payments to states. In general, in addition to any other payment under this part, the Secretary shall subject to subsection F, make an incentive payment to each state for each fiscal year in an amount determined under subsection B. Now, some of y'all might be wondering, why is he reading all this money the states is getting? Because I'm trying to piss y'all off. I want y'all to be upset. You should be upset about this. Because this is a ridiculous amount of money that these states are getting. And the question is, where are they getting this money from? Because they're not getting it from taxes. Y'all know where they're getting them from, those CAFA accounts, doing 1041s. Every state doing, that's how they got it. The federal government is just not giving them money, printing money and giving it to it. It's got to come from somewhere. So every social that's attached to that, they're doing a 1041 on it and drawing the money down and paying the states with it out of those CAF accounts. So basically, if you're a national, you got your nationality corrected, they're taking your money. All right. Amount of incentive payment. 1, in general, the incentive payment for state for fiscal year is equal to the incentive payment pool for the fiscal year multiplied by the state incentive payment share for the fiscal year. 2, incentive payment pool. In general, in paragraph 1, the term incentive payment pool means 1, $422 million for fiscal year 2000, $429 million 2001, $450 million 2002, $461 million 2003, and on. So it caps off what? $483 million for fiscal year 2008, and for any succeeding fiscal year, the amount of incentive payment pool for the fiscal year that precedes such succeeding fiscal year multiplied by the percentage, if any, by which the CPI for such preceding fiscal year exceeds the CPI for the second preceding fiscal year. So these guys are getting damn near $500 million based on their performance. Now, what is it that they're getting paid for? Let's look at 4. Incentive base amount in paragraph 3, the term incentive base amount means, with respect to the state, a fiscal year, the sum of applicable percentages determined in accordance with paragraph 6, multiplied by corresponding maximum incentive base amounts for the state for the fiscal year with respect to each of the following measures of state performance for the fiscal year. The paternity establishment performance level. So, how many people they get to sucker into establishing paternity by either saying, yes, I am the father, or by them drawing some blood and doing DNA tests on you. They're getting money for the support order itself, and they're getting money for the current payment performance level, meaning how well you pay into the system. They get money for that. They get money for arrearage payment performance level and the cost effectiveness performance level, how well they save money in robbing you. Right? Y'all see it? I hope y'all getting upset. Now this sounds like a, well, it is. It's a business. Like they're getting bonuses for dragging you in. That's why when you call them people, they call you a customer. They're getting paid off of you. I don't know if anybody's ever called into these people. I had a customer who called in. First thing they asked him, they addressed him, welcome as being a customer. Then they started running down asking him all these personal questions. See, they getting that form filled out right over the phone, so they can get that money. All right. And here's a chart. If a paternity establishment performance level is at least 80%, but less than, the applicable percentage is 100. So they get 100% for at least 80%. So 79. welcome to Inspiration Sundays. Some of you who don't know, that was the old child support webinar from back in the day. My very first video teaching I did on child support and to help people get out of it. Very good information. Still apply. Most of it still applies. I made some changes to it over the years, but for the most part, the teachings are pretty much on point. Hope everybody's doing good. I'm doing good. Me and my family, we all great. Just keep pushing along. Keep let me see something. I want to check on something real quick. So much going on. I gotta check on stuff. So today we're talking about how to make things happen. And plus what I'm gonna do is give you guys what I do to get things going. I talk a lot about just getting started, and that's the biggest part of it. You have an idea, get as much as you can together and get it out there. Just get started. That's the key. Getting started. And then once you get started, on your project, it'll all come together eventually. But it'll never come together if you don't start. You'll always forever be researching, reading, updating, making excuses about, well, this ain't perfect, this is not right, if you don't put it out there. And I have a little checkpoints, little list I want to go over here so I don't miss anything. I text something to myself. Hey, are y'all hearing me well? Let's see. How we doing out there? Oh, people were commenting on the video. Discipleship Minister said, peace, brother. All praise Yah said, grand rising to you. Corinne said, happy Sunday. The acknowledgement of paternity document is paper from you. Yep, that's evidence. You're all right. Yes, when you give them anything. And all praise Yah says, so what is stopping us from filing out 1099 sin today? What is stopping you? Not technically a 1099-C, but what is stopping you? And charge it to the estate. Nothing? There's nothing stopping you from doing that. See? DJJOJ says, peace, everyone. Discipleship says, that was great information. Everybody, see, that's why I play the old videos for you guys. I think I did that back in 2017 or 18. That video was done. I got an archive of videos that no one has ever really seen. So the reason why I play old videos, so y'all can see my progress, where I am now versus where I was. That's why I play these old videos. I'm teaching you through the videos. Plus, I'm letting you guys see my progress. I think that was 2018, like September of 2018, if I can think of it. So that's 5 years ago. It was around this time in September of 2018 when I made that video. 5 years ago. And some of y'all already know that I've switched up, I've added some things to that. So that's not 100% up to date, but a large majority of the information is still useful. But here's the thing. What makes me successful at what I do? I create the problem for myself. I do. I create problems for myself for me to solve. Here's what I do. I need to teach something, right? I get an inspiration, and okay, I gotta teach this to the people these wins that I'm getting, right? So I will go on my computer, create the webinar before the material is together. Before I have actually how I'm going to teach it together. I create the webinar, I send emails out saying I'm having a child support webinar on this such and such date. Usually it's a month out. And then I work on the material to teach it. What did I just do? What did I just do? Now, this technique works for people who are about keeping their word. Okay? That's my guitar. This technique is about people who are keeping their word. Why? Because I put something out there and I said I'm going to do it on such and such date, such and such time. Now I got to get it done. I'm a person who has a problem with not keeping my word. And if I can't keep my word, I will let you know I'm sorry, I can't keep my word, but this is when it'll get done. I love to hold myself accountable for what I say and do. So there you go. There's one of my secrets. I create the problem for myself. Now I got to do it. I got to teach it. Now, not only did I create income from the idea before I even had the script to write to teach it. See, why you guys are failing, most people are failing, they want to create the whole outline of what they want to say before they even present that they're going to teach it to the world. They do it all, take them months, whatever. But see, when I do it this way, and then I set a date on it, I got to get it together. I got to put everything aside, put it and get it and teach it. Now, here's the thing. I already have 85% of the information because I've been practicing it through other people, helping people with the child support. When I did this seminar, I probably helped over 100 people successfully with child support all over throughout the country. See? And if you get that webinar, you'll see me talking about using your religious freedoms in there. Now I'm a lot more. I use emphasis on religious protections. See, if I know myself, this is what you have to do. You have to know who you are, how you operate, and work with that. And say, well, if I'm a person who doesn't hold myself accountable, then I know I'm not going to do this. So you got to do things where you know you'll feel uncomfortable if you don't do it. See, I make myself uncomfortable that I got to get this done. Now I'm getting paid to be uncomfortable. Now that gem right there I just gave you is probably one of the biggest reasons why I'm so successful at what I do. That right there, that one technique I gave you is it. See, too many people think too much. They think, man, I gotta have this. I think about what people gonna say, how they gonna react, blah, blah, blah. People gonna say and react how they going to react. You can't control that. You just got to keep your mind focused on what you're trying to do.
Stop getting focused on what people think. Stop caring so much about that. Am I saying be rude and hurt people's feelings? No. I'm talking about in the context of you creating your business and getting off the ground. People may reject it a lot right at first. There was a lot of ideas out there that was rejected a lot. The idea of selling water in a bottle that you can get out the tap free was rejected at first. The idea that we could fly somewhere on a plane in the air was rejected at first. Shoot, I always use these guys. Michael Jordan was rejected at first. Now he's a household name. For whenever, who knows? Still selling Michael Jordan sneakers, and he hasn't played in years. But he was rejected at first. So you must be rejected first before you get accepted. That's just part of the process. Why do you get rejected first? Why? Why? Because it teaches you how to perfect. It trains you how to be consistent. It trains you how to overcome opposition. See, some of y'all don't want the opposition. Y'all afraid of it. And if you're afraid of opposition and don't want opposition, then don't do nothing. Just stay on that job you got. Keep it. That's where you need to be. You need to be right there with the rest of the slaves. Yes, and I'm saying it exactly like that. I'm not a slave. I make $100,000. Yeah, yes, you are a slave. You work for somebody. They tell you what to do, when to get up, when to go to work, when to clock in, when to clock out, and they have the option to let you go when their company ain't doing right. You out of here. You are a high-paid slave. Yes. Yes. Whenever you're working for someone, you are held accountable to the rules that they set for you. They are your master. Yes. Let's not deny that. Let's own it. Let's own it. I know the world has given you this cushy, mushy feeling about your job, and I got this career, I got this degree to get this job. I know they gave y'all that. I know. That was the game. Make you feel good about being a slave, so you don't think you are a slave. Yeah, that was the whole plan. Yes, and I fell for it, and so many more people have fallen for it, and will continue to fall for it. No, I'm just trying to talk to the few that don't want to be a slave. The few that want to be what? Trailblazers. Set apart. Be different. That's all I'm trying to reach. I'm not trying to reach the whole world. I'm not trying to save the world. I'm just trying to show the people that really want something different in their life, who really mean what they say about creating legacy, not just for their family right now, but a legacy for the family to come through their genes, through their gene pool. So that 40, 50, 100 years ago, your picture's up on the wall of one of your great grandchildren saying, that was my great grandfather who started all of this. What's going to happen when you die? What they going to say about you? What are they going to say? Will you be remembered for leaving behind the type of wealth that they can carry on? See, that's the kind of mindset we need to have. Like, we're leaving behind wealth that our family can continue to enjoy and manifest and make grow. Too many times we're thinking about what we have with our family now, and then when we go, a lot of people are leaving behind funeral bills. A struggle. This is why families always fight over money when it comes to people dying, because they have so little of it that they have to sit up there and take whatever little they can, or hope they get whatever little they can. People are so broke-minded in their mindset that there's people literally in funeral homes let's see, their remains, like say if they did a cremation, are still in the funeral home because the family has not come to claim it. They didn't care. They wasn't taught values. They wasn't taught how not to be broke. So whose fault is that? I take responsibility for that. When it comes to my family, what did I teach them? What values did I give them? That's the responsibility that we have as a people, to make the next generation better than what we came up in a good way. So far, what we're seeing is this generation that's here now is trying to destroy everything. They don't know. They don't have any work ethics. They don't know what struggle is. They don't know. I remember as a kid growing up, my biggest fears as a kid growing up, outside of God, was my father and what he would do when he came home because I wasn't doing right. That was my biggest fears. Kids don't have that fear anymore. And I think that's a direct why we have such out of control behavior is because of that. That's one of the big reasons why, because there is no fear of disrespecting your family. Yeah, people texting me. People always text. I don't know. I don't get any texts when I'm doing nothing, and then all of a sudden, right during the show, back. See what I'm saying? That's sort of opposition, distraction right there. And I want y'all to pay attention to that. Pay attention to the individuals that subliminally interrupt you while you're trying to get your job done, while you're trying to head into your goals. Pay attention to that, because that's key. Because in some cases, you're gonna have to remove that person. And I'm being serious. You're gonna have to, especially people who already know that this is what you're doing every day, and they can't even remember. Hey, he busy right now, because what they want is more important than what you are trying to accomplish in their mind. Pay attention. You will see when you're about to get into a very good flow, a barrage of distractions are going to come your way. And mainly that's for you to pay attention. And that's also for you to stand on your ground and ignore those distractions and keep going. You see? Now, I made this list, and here it is. The first one is mindset. A mindset that is essential to your success. What is that? What mindset do you need? The mindset you need is that you will win and do whatever it takes to be successful. You will not let anything stop you. You will not make any excuse. You have to be relentless to your word about what you say you want to do. No excuses. When something is not working or it's not going in a direction, you have to take 100% responsibility for why it's not working. Why you still don't have that product out there. Take responsibility there. The reason why so many people are not getting their stuff out there, and like I said, I know people right now over a year, 2-3 years in, and they still ain't got their stuff out there. But when I talk, I'm working on it. Why is it that they're not doing it? What's that one thing? They're not holding themselves accountable enough. They have not come to the Jesus. They didn't get the come to Jesus moment with themselves to say, you know what? I have played around with this long enough. They are not fed up with themselves enough to stop it and just do it. That Nike slogan is very powerful. Just do it. See, that's another way you get fooled into believing you're doing something, because you might be working on it and you think you're doing something. Let me tell you something. If you're talking about it, what I'm doing this and that, then you're not doing nothing. You're not doing anything. I hear that type of chat all the time. Yeah. I'm doing this. I was doing this yesterday. And then I stop them in mid-conversation. Can I go buy that right now? All that stuff you're doing, can I buy it? No, it ain't ready. I still got some more to do. It's always that. I still got some more to do. You're not doing it. You ain't got nothing but conversation and excuses. And I know I'm talking to at least one or two people right now. What I'm saying, I'm talking to you. You're not doing anything if no one could go get it and appreciate it and buy it. Whatever that is, you done nothing. All you did was take up space and fill out some paperwork, this and that. I just told you how I do seminars or webinars. I just say I'm going to do it, and then I create the content. I got another powerful insight or a secret that I have to that too, but I'm not going to tell it here on the public airways. What I'm going to do, I'm going to create a mastermind group of people who are really serious, and I'm going to show you what I do to add on to that, to reinforce it, to guarantee success. It's another little technique that I do, little small thing, small shift. See, in order to get the compensation, the monetary gain, you have to put it out there to the world so that you can have an opportunity for somebody to buy from you or do business with you. It has to be out there. The requirement that was needed to start the trucking company was a 26-foot boxer, but we only found a 24-foot, and we started with that, and we still made money with that. Now we have 3 26-foot box trucks. But if I had said, well, I got to find a 26-foot box truck to get started, we wouldn't have never got started, because they were hard to find. And if you wanted to buy one new, you had almost a 1.5 year waiting list. I started with what I could start with. The truck, it did the job. And now when I look back and compare to what we have now, that truck was raggedy. But I appreciate that raggedy truck because it got me going, got us going. See, everything I say goes all the way back to just doing it. It goes all the way back to, it don't have to be perfect. Just do it. It goes all the way back to, you don't have to have all this other stuff and all these excuses. See, just doing it is to do something doesn't need excuses to do it. It just doesn't. Okay. Here's the other thing. Goal setting techniques that will keep you on track. It goes back to what I said. I know, listen, I have tried all the writing stuff down and trying to do all of these little rituals with writing stuff down. None of that stuff works for me. So that's why I say you have to know who you are. I know who I am. So I know I've tried. I got a bunch of books I wrote stuff in. It's about 3 or 4 of them over here, about another 5 downstairs. And I write the stuff down. I'm good with that for 2 or 3 days, and then I put it down and forget about it. Where's the book at? So everything's locked up in here. So what do I do to keep track of my goals? Y'all want to know? Y'all want to know the secret? By a show of hands, what's the secret? What's my secret? Somebody write it in the chat. What's my secret? I'm going to give y'all some time to write that out. What do y'all think I do? Since I'm not good at writing these things down and going back to them and doing all that, I have tried that for many years and have never been successful doing it that way for me. Now, writing things down is good. I write things down. My ideas, I write them down just to lock them in. What do you think I do to compensate for my inability to stay consistent with the whole journals and writing stuff down? Somebody said, I'm not telling y'all till somebody try to guess it. All praise to y'all got his hand up. Go ahead, say it. Type it out. You said record it. Nope, that's not what I do. Visualization, that's part of it, but not quite. I'm gonna give one more person to try at it. What do I do to stay consistent? Record it and replay it to yourself. Nope. Here's what I do. To keep myself on track, I just do it. The idea comes, I stop in that moment and go work on it and do it. Like I said, I already gave y'all the answer before. When I have a webinar, I got to do this webinar, I go straight up there to my computer, build it out, send the emails out. I don't stop until I put myself under pressure to see it all the way through. Just doing it. Just do it. Okay, this is what I need to do. Go do it right there. See, remember what I told y'all a long time ago about the call? You get the call? To get the call means call the action to do it. When God called on Job and not Job, called on Lot, Abraham to move into other different lands, when he called on his people to do things, he called on them, go do it. And they did it. There was no long written out script. Just, okay, show up over here. That's the plan for today. Go over there and do it. And they did it. Then once they got there, the revelation came to why they were there. See? Your success is you just moving. When you get the idea, stop. If you can. And just work on it. If you can. Because if you don't do it in that moment of call, it's going to lose its power over time. You understand? It's going to lose its power over time, and you won't have the same enthusiasm about the idea later on. Opportunities do go away if you don't act on them. When you have an opportunity, you will lose it if you don't move on it. And somebody else will be doing it. See, opportunities come all the time. Your turn comes up. Oh, well, you don't want it. I'm going to go to the next one person who really want it. Passing the baton. See? You just have to move on it. Okay? Let's go back. Obstacles. How to overcome obstacles? Setbacks. Simple. You got to be resilient. You have to already know that obstacles are coming and be prepared for. Meaning, when I say prepared for it, mentally prepared to say, this is part of the process of me being successful. This is all part of it. It all goes together. Your success also has the ingredients of failure incorporated into it. Yes. That's why you got to keep working on it. Like, I have my guitar here, right? It's my guitar. And I've been working. I work on different pieces. And I have working on playing the guitar, practicing the guitar for over 2 years now. Right? And to learn a new piece, you have to actually do it. Like, I could read the music, but my fingers have to get programmed to play a piece a certain way. So yesterday I started working on, it's a piece that I've always wanted to learn. It was the Godfather theme song, right? So I started working on that yesterday, literally. So right now I pretty much got the first line of, I guess it's, actually I could tell y'all, I have it up here. The first 1, 2, 3, 4 measures done. And if you understand music, a lot of the music is repetitious, meaning if I learn this first line, perfect this first line, I have perfected 1, 2, 3 of those lines, because that one line is repeated throughout the whole piece. So, and it's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines. So how many lines did I say? 1, 2, 3. So I have come familiar with, I wouldn't say master, because in music you never really master a song. You just get better with time. Those guys you see playing in bands, they mastered it. They continually improve on the way they play. They might play it one way today and play it differently tomorrow or 10 years from now. It's called expression, musical expression. They might change the way they express the music 10 years from now. Why am I talking about music? Because music is one of the best examples of how you can maintain and be successful at something, because it takes repetition and practice. Now, if someone who's been playing music for years could read these notes and begin to play them fairly well at the beginning, but they still have to practice it and get familiar with the music, memorize it first, right? So they have to, like, it took me just to get just one piece out, I had to, now I got to get my mind psyched because I got a whole audience watching me. It's different playing by myself than playing for somebody. So I'm gonna attempt it, right? That's the first 2 measures, right? That's part of it. See, still got Get the fog out. See? So I'm going to try it again. See, my fingers got twisted up. Why? Because I got an audience now. But over time, I'll get better. I can actually play that whole measure, but not right now. I still got work to do. Now, yesterday, I didn't know that song. Just that part. See? See what it takes? Practice. Practice. Yes, DJ B Thunder. Yes, there is a class at noon today. So let's go back. Let's go back to this. What did I have? Practical action steps to turn your aspirations into reality. First of all, you have to be committed to yourself and what you say. You have to look yourself in the mirror and say, am I going to do this? Am I going to make this happen? Now, once you commit to saying you're going to do it, say, okay, what within my abilities right now can I do? And then do that. And once you do what's in your abilities, you increase upon that. You change it. Change your mindset. Another thing is, some of y'all got to just get out of the bed. I know what happens. I'm going to tell you what happens. Y'all want to know what happens? Here's what happens. Whenever you get ready to do something that goes towards your goal, all of a sudden, your brain shuts down and you get tired. And then what happens, some people fall victim to their own brain. And they go lay down and say, well, I'm going to take a nap. I'll get up and do it. I'll be refreshed and then I'll get it done. You know, that almost never happens. I would tell you almost all the time that never happens. Because you're going to go to sleep, wake up, and the whole inspiration, motivation to even get started is going to be gone. No. The action step, the thing you need to do is when you feel that tired, push through it. Because really, that tired is only temporary. It's a way the brain says, because you're trying to make the brain rewire itself to make you more efficient. And the brain is like, oh, wait a minute, I ain't done this before. This is too much. Go to sleep. Boom. Go lay down. It wants to shut you down. You too much. It's too much. See, but you have to push past that. Push past that fatigue feeling, that and it's really not a physical fatigue, it's more of a mental fatigue, because the brain is not wired correctly. But once you get past that, you be like, you got to work, and wait a minute, next you know, you go working on your stuff, 2 hours have gone by. You see? So yeah, Old Prince John said, yep, I know exactly what you mean. Yes, that's your brain saying, wait a minute, I'm used to this way. You about to change me up? The brain don't has a problem with change sometimes. A lot of problems with it. I mean, sometimes a lot of problems. That brain be like, I'm good. I'm functioning good right here. You ain't about to take me to a whole nother level. Now shut down, go to sleep. And and that's when we fall victim. Yeah, we talk ourselves into, yeah, I'm gonna take a nap and wake up, and then you wake up, you find I'm hungry now, I'm thirsty, the kids is bothering you, oh, I gotta go do this first, and next you know a whole day is gone and you ain't did it. Sometimes you gotta put the phone down, put them videos, TikTok, all that stuff you watching that has nothing to do with you getting stuff done. Nothing. You gotta cut it out. That's one of the biggest action steps. And once you get into the habit of pushing past that, it'll become like, oh, you know, it's okay, I can get it done. Then how you did today add a little bit tomorrow. What you accomplish today, increase it tomorrow, just a little bit. Like, one of the examples I like to use is like exercise, right? There's a lot of people who haven't exercised for years, and what happens is we get tricked by all of these gurus talking about exercise, do it this way, do it. No, I like to tell people, do exercise the way you feel comfortable. You create your own plan that works for you. This way, you don't feel like you're being controlled, and it may, because the way they say it may be boring, you know. Create your own action plan and stick to it. And what you do as you create your own plan, you increase upon that plan. You add to it. Be creative. You know, like sometimes I have stairs in my house. I'll run up and down the stairs. Then I'll go do some push-ups off the stairs, legs elevated on a couple of steps down, and do push-ups. And I'll do that until I'm tired. That's what I do. I do it until I am too tired to do it. I don't do all of that, 10 sets, 20 sets, 30 sets. I'll push up and do, count them out, say 50, 60. I get to 60. Tomorrow I'll try to get to 70. Then after 70, I'll try to go get an 80, then a 90, then 100. You see what I'm saying? That's what I do. I keep pushing myself past the point that I did the day before. You will stay in shape just that way. Some of y'all, one of your goals is, I want to feel healthier. I want to lose weight. You may not feel like you need to lose weight, but you just want to feel healthier. All right. And if you, this is really good if you're a person who drink tea. Start drinking your drinks without sugar in it. Start drinking it and do that for a day. Make you a couple of teas throughout the day, 2 to 3. By the next day, you won't crave tea and sugar in your tea. If you do that 3 times the first day, the next day, it'll be, your taste buds will adjust and will not be looking for the sugar. Be consistent. Like, if you say you want to lose weight, there's a couple of ingredients you can cut out: sugar, breads, rice, processed foods. But first day, start with sugar. Second day, start with bread. Sugar and bread. Add on. Next thing you know, your body will adjust. See, right now, your body's adjusted to all the things you've done from this point going backwards. So it's going to take time to readjust. Don't go, every day, just add something to it. I don't know if y'all noticed this, but doing these videos, I said I would do 4 videos a week. And I think consistently I might have done them 3 weeks completely. I got to keep pushing myself, because what happens? I fall victim to the same things that y'all fall victim. I'll talk myself out of it, but I got to stay consistent. You see? All right, what's the next one? Well, examples. I'll give you guys examples, real life examples of how I do it, so that it can motivate you. And a lot of times my stories is pretty much the same as your story. It's pretty much the same. We're not all that different that we think we are. We're not. We all are falling victim to the same programming, because we all received the same programming. That it's okay to go work for people. That's the norm. That's the program. That's why so many people are in it, because we've been indoctrinated into this culture of being employees. Now I come along to say, no, that is not normal for us to desire that. That is something we have learned to accept in our society, that working for someone is being good, is the thing. No, it's not. It's not. I mean, it's okay to work for someone. You got to start somewhere, but it's not It's not the thing that's going to give you the fulfillment. It's not. It is not the thing that's going to give you the fulfillment. The fulfillment that you get, it comes from you working on that divine inspirational idea that God gave you to work on. Everyone got it. Everyone gets it. But not everyone follow it. Not everyone follows the call. Why? Because they have allowed the programming to overwrite the divine inspirational ideas that was encoded into their DNA from the day they was born. It's still there, buried under a whole lot of misinformation and bad programming. So what you got to do is clean the hard drive. You got to detox. That's another thing when I talk about health. In order to be successful with any diet change, you have to detox first. You need to clean out first. Get rid of all of the junk first. And let me say it again. In order to be successful with anything, diet, changing your whole career plan, you have to detox from the programming of being a worker. You got to detox that. You can't take the line of reasoning of an employee and put it into your own business. You got to think on the boss level. You can't take the same eating habits that you had that got you to where you are now into your healthy lifestyle journey. Can't take that. You got to dismiss all of that. You have to assume that your whole diet is bad and start from scratch. That's my story. Like, in order for me to get to this spiritual awakening, I had to detox all the spiritual or religious information that I had prior to that and say, hey, there's something going on that I don't understand, and I have to dismiss this like I don't know anything and start all over from scratch. And that's exactly what I said. I said, in order for me to really understand God and spirituality, I have to ignore everything that I was taught about religion and start from scratch like I don't know anything. And what I discovered, even now today, I'll say it, I don't know anything when it comes to God that much. I know just enough to be different and better than the average. It was said that if you practice something every day for 10 minutes for 1 year, that you will be better than 80 to 90% of the population at that very thing. Just 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes a day. Me, I try to practice my guitar every day. And I realized there's people who have been playing the guitar for years, and they hear me and they'll say, man, your techniques are spot on. Plus, I had a great teacher who taught me different techniques of practicing, how to practice and get better. Don't try to learn all the music at once. Take that one measure and learn that and play that over again until you get comfortable, and then learn the next measure. And once you learn the next measure, you take that measure and add on. That's how you do your life. That's how you do your business. You take what you know, perfect it. Then once you get that perfected, go on, get another thing to perfect, and then add on. Do y'all know all my teachings are just add-ons of what I started with? When I started, I was selling HJR 192 discharge. The law for discharge. That's what I sold. That was my first product I sold. Then after that, I expanded. I did the birth certificate authentication video. That was my first webinar. Birth certificate authentication webinar. Then my second was IRS. And then wait a minute. The IRS might have been second or third. The second one might have been the CPM webinar. I did 3. And out of those, let's just say, IRS, CPN, I created 2 more videos out of each one of those. So that's total of 6 videos over time. About to do another one. I think maybe it's 4 CPN. Man, I'm about to do a 5 because things change. See how one idea expands, but it lives forever? When God created the world, he created it one way. Then it just expanded. And there it is, on and on forever. Replenishing itself. But had he not started it, we wouldn't have it. We are not meant to stay stagnant. You all know if you sit down too long or lay down too long, then don't use those muscles. It'll be very hard for you to walk. And some people are literally wasting away, sitting on the couch, laying in bed, swiping their phones. Wasting away. See, we were better off when we didn't have all of this ability to go to grocery stores to get our food. Because if we had to actually go out there and look for our food, we'd be in a whole lot better shape than we are right now. This generation is spoiled. Practice and consistency, patience. Yes, patience is a big one. See, that's one that I'm glad that was mentioned. Patience. And the patience you need is with yourself. That these things over time will make you better. Because so many of us want to get to the success we see on television tomorrow. You didn't see what that person did to even get on television. To get that part, to play. They did thousands of hours of practice to get there. So don't expect to get that type of success just like that. It takes time. I see people make a video, man, I ain't got no views. And if that's only their second or third video, so what? You ain't got no views. That you ain't supposed to have that many views because you just started. That's the rule to the game. You ain't supposed to. You ain't got to put in some work. You got to make over 100 videos before you start seeing traction. Yes. You got to put in the time. Okay? All right, y'all. It's 10:54. I think I gave y'all enough to go with. I think I got enough to go with. Reminder. Let me get this out there. Discharge webinar is coming up. I don't know if this is the right flyer. Yeah, it is. That's the discharge seminar. This is the one. On the 30th, discharge webinar. That's a online class, 11 a.m. Eastern Time on September the 30th, 2023. It is going to be conducted and hosted by myself and Al Bay. I'll probably start the teachings first. Al will jump on later because he said he had something to do with his children first before he could jump on. So that's what we're going to be talking about. Student loan. Hey, student loan started up. Man, people are calling me left and right. I'm getting really busy with that, helping people get rid of student loans. If you need help with student loans, hit me up. Go to akimel.com, get a consultation, or you could buy the webinar, or you could pay me to do it for you. That's what I'm doing. It's either one. You can do it yourself, or I do it for you. The benefit of me doing it is you don't have to worry about those letters and questioning and getting more consultations to figure out what to do next. You know how many people do this process and they get a little something back from the people that don't look, they're not familiar with, and they question it, they doubt it, instead of just following the process. And I say that in the video, just keep doing what I say. Ignore all of that stuff they saying and do what I say. But they can't help themselves. People can't help themselves but question. See, when you are not a true believer, it's going to take a long time. That's what I noticed. When you're not a true believer, it takes a long time for you to get your win. When you are a true believer, it happens almost instantly, right away. To the person who doesn't really worry about really sit there and worry about the outcomes, and they just put it out there, just say this is it, they get the wins quickly. The ones that be having all these second guessing and doubting, it gets done, but it takes longer. There you go. Akimel.com, sign up. I am actually going to create a VIP portion of this, which will include the video and some bonus information. See how I just put the idea out there? Now I got to do it. I got to put myself in it. So that would cost, I think $5.97 to get in that portion. But I'll let you know what it involves. So, with that being said, peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to all.